You see, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys thinking right now similar about your 9 to 5, or maybe clients you work with, and you're probably asking yourself, oh God, is there anything else? Is that it? I can't stand it. Every day feels like just a punishment, but you have to do it, right? Because you have family, you have commitments, and you need to pay your bills. And although I did not need that money for me in order to be able to survive, or my family, I did want to have that money because it was making things easier. And this was a trap which kept me stuck for a few weeks at least. And I feel a little bit upset about this, about myself, because there's nobody else to blame. I was in the position where I was where the money, and it wasn't that enough. It's like, that was very little money. That's the thing, that's the worst or the funniest thing. That kind of money held me in until the relationship became so obviously not what we wanted to be on the both ends, that we both we were pretending it's going to work and it's going to be fine. And we were delaying the moment where we're going to say, look, it's not fine. Where we actually decided finally, it's like, look, let's have a little break, because there's things that need to happen now in that one of these businesses. And me and the owner decided, like, let's have a break for now. Let's rethink if we want to move it forward. And oh, look at this. That's a fallen tree. It's pretty big, isn't it? Ooh, I don't know if you can see it. There's lots of fallen trees here. I think it's from last time we had this wind. Anyway, and so we realized this is kind of like it's not going to work the way it is, and we just had this different expectations, and we made a mistake. I keep making it over and over. Hopefully I learned my lesson now, that I did not clarify everything at the beginning before actually even starting to do any work. We were like because we know each other for a long time, we're like, yeah, let's do it. We knew exactly what we should do, right? We thought we know, and let's go, it's going to be great. And it just didn't work out the way we wanted to. And I think it's just different expectation. Nothing wrong, okay? It's just happened. But what's wrong for me is how I was stuck in my mentality, thinking I should carry on doing it because literally there's no world around me, which is obviously not true. And if you are like this, if you're thinking about this 9 to 5 dilemma, I'm not going to say to you, quit your job and just go for it, because that's stupid. But I wanted to share with you that kind of feeling that, although it might feel like you're going to have to stay there there's a fallen tree in front of me. I don't think you just jump a deer that way. I'll try this way. If there is like no other way, I would encourage you not to quit your job, but to actually question it. Because it's funny, the day I've actually had this conversation with my client, he's a kind of friend even, on that very day, I was like, overthinking it, and then just it went about my day. I was still thinking. On that very day, amazing thing happened to me. And one of the most important things is, one of my friends, who I do some business elsewhere with, and we are now, we're talking to different founders and startups from different countries, and trying to figure out, basically talking to founders and startups who need some help expanding their services in the UK. And that friend told me something very important, and he said to me, look, Alex, if that's how you feel, he's a little bit older than me, more experienced in life, and probably maybe in business. He's got different set of skills as well. And he said to me, look, Alex, your time is so valuable that you cannot waste 1 hour on projects like this. You can't waste your time on things that don't work. And it's not out of the being, full of it, being cocky. It's about, I'm 39. I have 3 kids. I have family. I don't have time. I can't have time being stuck months, 6 months, 12 months in the business where I'm not contributing enough because I am not inspired enough, and we basically don't even know what I should be doing, and there's a lot of different issues around, right? And it made me realize, you know what? This is the problem we many of us face, because we don't have that one person to tell us, and he means it, and he's right. somebody who tells you like what's your real value. And I'm not talking about this internet gurus pay me 100k or like none of this nonsense. I'm mature enough to not to go this kind of real ridiculous claims. But I'm also mature enough to understand that if you want me to be there for some money with you while you're building a business, which obviously building a business has got big massive opportunities moving forward, but they're being paid for a project not so much, then you just have to think about yourself carefully and your value and your worth. How do I get out of this place now? There we go. So we put on pause my involvement into that business for now. And I don't know, maybe we go back, we'll see. We're going to take a couple of weeks off. I will. They'll be doing some things they need to finish before I can even start doing any work. But it was important for me to realize that what I thought about myself and how it's going to be great in my head and everything was false. Again, yet another reason or another example of how what we think in our heads is exactly the opposite, or maybe not exactly what it is in reality. So the great thing happened to me after that conversation. Obviously my friend kind of came up with this, which was important realization for me. But we had these two startups we talked with, two founders, and they own the healthcare well-being niche, which is my niche. And I got a really, really big network in healthcare here in the UK, and out of a couple of conversations came out clear to me that there's such a big opportunity for me to connect that startup with a couple of people I know. It's going to be worth way, way more than me being stuck in any business for just some sort of base salary or whatever, like little money, okay? Of course, there's no guarantees, but the moment I realized this, my energy levels went up through the roof. And this is my hidden weapon. This is my secret weapon, is the energy, right? People who know me in personal life, they always say the way I am in my life is pretty much like I am here, even more energetic, more optimistic. And people want to have me around because I make things happen. And when I'm being stuck in something for too long, that energy just disappears and it's basically killing me, right? It's not maybe physically, but it makes nothing possible. And I'm trying to, lie to myself, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. It never is. So if you're thinking about this business idea you want to open, or you're really, really stuck, you feel like you're dying inside of you because of your 9 to 5. There's more. There's really more out there, and maybe for some of you, you're gonna have to take that jump and just start, just quit, just change, whatever that is. I'm not saying do it because I don't know your personal situation, of course. So that would be irresponsible for me to say everybody should quit now, everybody go and be an entrepreneur, everybody start business. Of course not, that's rubbish. If I knew your situation more, then maybe I could probably, perhaps I could give you some more clear, not advice, I don't like giving advice, but just clear feedback. Now, there's a lots of like kids wearing high-vis jackets, lots of them. Maybe that's my kids even. I don't know, they didn't tell me they're coming here. Anyway, if you're really stuck, if you're feeling like you really, because the way I felt, it was like drag. If you feel this, give yourself a chance. At least focus on this. Don't run away from this feeling, because I did, and you're probably trying to do as well. Actually embrace that. Think about this, feel it, and look around, see what can be done. I know it might sound easy, it's not. But that thing can actually change everything in your life. And if you don't have big responsibilities like kids and a family, I would then encourage you to actually do something really bold, like just fucking do it, okay? And if you have family and kids, then do it different way. Start now, because you don't have time. You don't want to be suffering forever like this. It's not worth it, trust me. And lots of you guys out there, there's another life waiting for you. There is really another opportunity. And as in my case, just because I quit this, not quit, just we went through this conversation and I changed my approach, things open suddenly. And this might be just the same for you. And you know, you'll never know until you actually try it, or at least pause your life for a minute, stop for a second, take 2 weeks off, 4 weeks off maybe, unpaid, even if you can, that would be great. Take 4 weeks unpaid leave. That would be amazing, okay? And then just rethink your priorities, your life. And I can tell you, some of you out there, it will change your life forever. And you know what's like, there's this book I recommend you can read. I don't know the author, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And I'll leave you with this. I'm gonna have to see if that's my kid here or not. If you like that video, please leave me a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you're not subscribing yet. Thank you very much for your time or your support. Leave me a comment if you wish to talk to me. Just be respectful, please. And think about your life, man. It's man or woman, you. That's your life. You don't have to live your life the way other people tell you. Anyways, I'll see you soon.